Vacations. Don't be in such a rush. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your time away. You know, you might want to kind of hurry to get there so that you can get things set up, I guess you could say. But, you know, take the long way around. Get off the expressway. Enjoy the view if possible, if you have time. The thing about the trip that we took coming back down, which was normally an hour and a half from Maggie Valley to Hendersonville, we took 5 hours. But see, the thing about that is I didn't have nowhere to be. It's amazing. It's amazing to me what you can do if you are not shackled to a clock. So while some might say, well, David, you were lost for a little while. The fact was, I was having the time of my life. I didn't care where I was. It was awesome. Too many times we take vacations and we hurry up, like I mentioned, we hurry up, we get there, we shop, we go to all the touristy places. It's rush, 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 and it's, okay, time to go, hurry up, get home, go back to work. I don't like doing it that way. So what we try to do now is we try, for one thing, we try to get home in enough time so that we have a day or two to just relax and do things around the house. But, you know, if you time your vacation good, you don't need relaxation when you get home because you took your time while you were there. I don't like crowds. I don't want to say I don't like people. It's not that I don't like people. It's just I don't like crowds. I enjoy nature. I enjoy just slowing down in a slower pace of life. And that's basically the purpose of this video that you're watching. Hello, this is Fat Puppy here. And my wife and I just took a trip to the mountains of North Carolina. It was a very good trip. This is about that trip. This is not going to be a touristy type video because we did things a little different that made things a lot more interesting. By the way, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Share this with your friends on Facebook or whatever social media platform that you're a part of. Hey, this is Fat Puppy here, and I am traveling. I hope this is not a touristy video because I don't like tourist videos. You can look them up all over the place. I am on the road between Maggie Valley and Cherokee, Highway 19. I'm next to a restaurant called the Mountaineer, home of the $1 Million View, and this is truly a $1 Million View. Towards the end of this video, I don't know how long this thing's going to be, you'll be seeing shots of the, or videos I should say, of the railroad, the Smoky Mountain Railroad that we did. They say you don't know a story until you live somewhere, and I find that out to be true. I tried to find stories from this area to put on video, and I couldn't find nothing on the internet. I don't know, maybe I was just looking in the wrong place. But I did go to the Historical Cultural Center in Bryson City and found a really good one that I may have to do from his distance, basically just pull everything off the internet. I'd rather be in the graveyard where the guy's buried, or rather be somewhere where he did something, and that might not be the case that I can do this time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sign off from this video, and or this clip I should say, and we'll just see how this thing turns out. We went to Bryson City. Now, we had never been there. They have a train ride there that my wife was very interested in and been talking about going on for years. And I was interested too because I like trains, and I hadn't been on a train ride since I was probably 4 years old, riding the train in Brooklyn, New York. So we went to Bryson City, and the next few clips, short clips, are going to be of that little train ride. So now it's time to leave. We've had our little vacation and it's time to go home. Well, we decided to do things a little different. And so leaving, we decided to take the long way from Maggie Valley, North Carolina to Hendersonville, North Carolina, and then get on the expressway from there. Normally this is about an hour-and-a-half trip on the expressways. However, I made a wrong turn and ended up, I knew I was not going the correct direction, and so we stopped and asked for directions, and we found ourselves in this old store, which is really interesting. Never lost, just not where I intended to be. The plan is to go from Maggie Valley over to Asheville, North Carolina, then down to Hendersonville, North Carolina, no interstates, and then get on the interstate and head back to the south. So we are in Fines Creek, North Carolina. This is not where we intend to be at the moment. We got sidetracked, but that's okay. We found this wonderful place. This business is called the Ferguson Supply General Merchandise. It's been in business for 104 years. Now, at one point, the building built down, burnt down, and then was built back. And but you can tell on the inside just how old it is. We have, and I've got video from the inside. Fines Creek, North Carolina store. It has been here since 1904. Ran by the same family, 4th generation.
With lottery, you don't ever play, right?
That is true. And you wanted 2 of them?
Yeah, give me two.
Yes, ma'am.
So I asked this old gentleman there, he knew his way around, about how to get back to where we were going to without getting on the expressways and then make our way down to Hendersonville, North Carolina. He said, well, if you go back the way you came and make a left turn, and he gave me the directions to kind of get going. But then he said something real interesting. He said, but if you really want some good scenery, go that way. He said, and just keep going. He said, you'll end up in you'll end up in Hot Springs, North Carolina. He said, just go straight. He said, if you make a left turn, you're going to end up in Tennessee. Go straight, and then it'll bring you back down towards Asheville and Hendersonville. And that was the way we went. And I'm going to tell you what, that was the best riding, the best viewing of just good, pretty countryside. It was awesome. And so I'm going to show some of that. Isn't this beautiful? You got the cows in the background, you got the rolling hills, they got this wood plank driveway, this little bridge, and I'm sure that below me is Fines Creek, which is what this community is named for, Fines Creek. It's a nice kind of a loud or babbling creek. This is just awesome. Shout out goes to Crystal, who I think is my favorite, or I'm her favorite YouTuber. She talks to me all the time, and she wanted to know what we were doing here. So part of why we're taping this video is for everybody, but for her too. Before we got to Hot Springs, North Carolina, riding, I don't know how long we had ridden, it been a while, we found this neat and interesting place. Here we are in Trust, North Carolina. And this road that we've been on is full of beauty and scenery, and I'm not even sure how to tell you to get there. But it's like every 300 feet, you want to pull off and take pictures, but there's nowhere to pull off at, because it is a tight-shouldered road on the edge of a mountain. There's old barns, there's old country scenery. This place is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, we are at the Trust General Store and Cafe. The place has been here for years and years. At one point it died, but a family come in and revived it. This is the only place for the people in this area to come and get groceries without having to go over the hills, what they said. But this is just a place of beauty. And we're just going to pan the camera around and just kind of get a good look, and I'm just going to step out. So in front of this store was a neat little sign that advertised that the next few miles would be 153 curves. Now, I didn't count the curves, but I do know it was good, curvy, mountainy, hilly, countryside. That again, I mean, this is just God's beautiful earth. It's probably the prettiest mountain scenery that I have maybe ever seen. It was awesome. It was not crowded. It was not well traveled. It was just fun traveling, and again, no tourist. So then we come into Hot Springs, North Carolina. Hot Springs was a little town, more a crossroads than anything, and I paid attention to the old man. He said, don't turn left, so I didn't. I went straight, and that ended up taking us around and then down south towards Asheville. When we got to real close to Asheville, we didn't want to go through downtown, so we jumped on the expressway and just kind of got around Asheville and then get back off the expressway, and then we took the road going into Hendersonville, North Carolina. But Hendersonville is a nice little town. Well, not real little, mid-sized town, I guess you could say. It's starting to get a little touristy, but they're trying to actually kind of hold that down, which kind of surprised me. They're trying to keep their housing prices affordable for the people that live there. The thing about these huge tourist areas is that their prices, their land, and their homes are just outrageous. You can buy a little single wide trailer on a postage stamp piece of land, and you're going to pay $150,000 for it, which is just crazy. So my hat's off to Hendersonville for trying to kind of hold the tourists at bay. While we were there, we stopped at a restaurant. I'm going to post a picture of the menu. This was a drugstore pharmacy from, I think, the 1880s that at some point was remodeled and made into a sandwich shop. And it was pretty cool because the old soda fountain was still there. It very much looked like a drugstore, other than the fact that it had tables. It was full of tables, no shopping shelves, and people were in there eating. While there, we also stopped at Mass General Store. If you've never been to a Mass General Store, you should go. Then we just got on the expressway and headed home.